Hello students, Standard 8. Now your exams finished. So we're going to start the chapters of the second sem. In physics we are going to start chapter number 13, sound. Actually, I think I explained in one or two videos, and then after that we stopped because of some reason. So rather to continue from that place where we end, I am going to start again so that it can be linked together. So now, sound. Everybody know that sound is very, very important for us. Sound plays an important role in our lives. You know that when you are in a school, how do you know that one of the lecture is finished? Because you hear the sound of the ringing bell. So when the bell rings, it means that the time of the lecture is finished. Similarly, in your house, if someone is at the door and you are inside in your room, how will you understand that there is somebody at the door? Most probably either they will knock on the door, or if there is a doorbell, they will press the switch and you will hear the sound of that doorbell and you know that somebody is there. Sometimes you hear the sound of footsteps coming towards you when there is a very quiet atmosphere. Then you can hear the sound of footsteps that is coming nearby you, approaching you. Then without looking at, you can understand that somebody is coming towards you. Maybe in the childhood, or sometime now also, you playing a game. Actually in the book they wrote down hide and seek, but it is not hide and seek. It is like blindfolded, in which the person whose turn is blindfolded means take a piece of cloth and tie on its eyes such that that person cannot see anybody. Then what we will do? The other persons will be moving around him somewhere and shouting or clapping, and that person who is blindfolded had to catch somebody. Then first whom he will cut, then that person will be blindfolded and he will catch the other players. Here sound is very, very important, because that person must be very alert to hear the sound, and he must go in that direction from which the sound is very, very near. So he will be able to touch that person, and then he get rid of his turn and so on. So it is also very funny and enjoying game. So here, without sound, it is not possible to catch anybody, and so on. We know that every day we hear different types of sound. For example, when the fan is running, you hear the sound. Television is on, you hear different sound. In the early morning, birds are chirping. That also very pleasant sound. Maybe the animals like dog are barking, dogs. And so many people are talking loudly. So when you make a list of sounds, oh, that will be a very, very, very big list. Because every moment you are hearing a different type of sounds. When you go in the music room of their school or somewhere in the musical school also, you see different type of musical instruments. Now without sound, there is no use of that instruments. So they also produce some sound, and then we hear the very nice music. You know the musical instruments like tabla, sitar, guitar, flute, harmonium, etc. They all produce sound differently. So now the question is arising in our mind that how the sound is produced. Why the sounds are different from one another. How do we hear the sound? How the sound is transported from one place to another place, etc. And we know that sound is very, 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 very important in our lives because we can communicate with each other, with one another. Think, just imagine if there is no sound, then it is very, very difficult to explain to other people what you want to tell. Sometimes we play that game like somebody is doing only that sign and we have to guess what is the word or sentence, Damsrad or something like that. So it is not easy to understand that thing without a sound. So we know that sound is a very, very important thing in our lives. Now, in this chapter we will learn that how the sounds are produced and how can we hear that sound, how the sound is traveling from one place to another place. Also, why some sounds are louder, some sounds are not louder. So we will get the answers of all these questions in this chapter. So now, first of all, we will try to understand some activities. So we understand that how this sound can be produced. For that, you have to go to the kitchen, or when you go to the school, don't do the mischief, but just try to touch that bell when it is not ringing. When the bell is not ringing, touch it. Then you will feel nothing, only the touch of the bell. But now, again touch when it producing sound. Means when the bell rang and the sound is produced, that time try to touch that bell. Then you will feel the vibrations. Means it's vibrating. Similarly, you can touch that again, hold it, then the vibration will be stopped. And when the vibration stops, the sound is also stops. Another activity you can do at your home also. Go to the kitchen and take a metal utensil like a frying pan or a plate and hang it in a convenient way with a thread so that it can move freely. Now take a stick and strike with it on the plate or that fry pan you hanged. Then what will you feel? You will hear the sound. And when it is producing sound, gently touch that pan with the finger. And what do you feel? You will feel that plate or the frying pan is vibrating. Means you will feel the vibration. Now again hit the plate with the stick and hold the frying pan tightly. Will you hear the sound? No. Will you feel the vibrations? No, because when you're touching it very hardly, strongly, it stops vibrating. So when it does not vibrate, it cannot produce a sound. So from this activity also we can conclude that sound is produced when the body vibrates. Means the vibrations are produced, then it produces the sound also. If you can't do that activity in kitchen, then you can do it your own also from your compass box and rubber band. Find a rubber band and put it around the longer side of your pencil box. You have the pencil box and then on the longer side place the rubber band. Two sides put the pencils. Straight the rubber band and insert two pencils between the box and the rubber band. So it will be little up. Now with the finger you pluck the rubber band. You will see that the rubber band start vibrating. And if you take your ear near it, you can hear the sound also. Or simply take the rubber band between your fingers and stretch it and pluck it by your ear. Then also you will hear the sound. And when it stops vibrating, the sound also will be stopped. So, vibrating body produces sound. Then my question is, what is meant by vibration? we know that when a body moves to and fro or back and forth, either to and fro or back and forth, then it is said to be an oscillatory motion. So its motion is known as oscillatory motion. For example, you learn about that simple pendulum. So when an object moves to and fro or back and forth from its mean position means position in the middle, either to and fro or back and forth around that mean position, then it is known as its oscillatory motion. So when the one complete back and forth or to and fro motion of oscillatory body about its mean position is called a vibration or an oscillation. You learn about the pendulum. When it starts from the one extreme position to second and again back to its, then it is known as to complete a vibration or an oscillation. So this vibration in the body produces sound, and when the vibrations are stopped, the sound is not produced. Vibrations produces sound. So vibration stops, then it cannot stop produce the sound also. Now, in some cases, we can hear the sound. We can see the vibrations. In only few cases, we can see the vibrations. But in most of the cases, the amplitude means the times, how many times it oscillates. If the amplitude, we will learn about amplitude later in this chapter. But just now you have to remember that when the amplitude of a vibration is very small, then we cannot see the vibration. We can hear the sound. We cannot see the vibration, but we can feel that vibration. But we cannot see that the object is vibrating. So that is the important thing. When we can see that we can pour water in the plate and strike on the edge of the plate, then you will see the rounds are getting bigger and bigger in the water. Because when we strike on the plate, it starts vibrating, and that vibrations are passed in the water. So in the water also the waves are produced, and you will hear the sound. If you touch the plate, the vibration will stop, and the waves in the water also will stop. So, vibrating bodies produces sound. We will learn more about it, like how the musical instruments work and the amplitude and so many other things in the next video. You will get this in the PDF file, and any confusion write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.